Now that we've built our stage, we're going to place a few objects on it. But first, we're going to learn about freezing things. So, right now, we can see that our stage is still very active. If I click on it, you see I get a gizmo and I can still move things around. What if I have everything set and I don't want to mess anything up? Well, what I can do is freeze things. There's a couple of different ways of freezing things. So, for instance, if we were to look over here in the Scene Explorer, you'll see that next to the names, you have these things that look like snowflakes. So, if I was just to click one of these snowflakes, let's say like on the floor here, that would freeze it. And I could no longer select it, no matter how hard I try. Well, I can no longer select it in here, but I can select it in here. All right. The problem with this, though, is that it is instantly gray. So what I would have to do is first I would have to change the object properties if I wanted to have it frozen, but still see it as it was. So first thing that I'm going to do is unfreeze this. And you see it becomes blue again. I'm going to not only select my floor, but I'm going to select all the objects. Notice I went from the Move tool, because the Move tool could mess me up, and went over here to my Select Object. In other words, my Safe tool. Here I can't really screw anything up. I'll just select all these objects. And now I will right-click. When I right-click, I get what's called the right-click menu. It has all different kinds of things, and it changes depending on where you click it. So for instance, if I was to click over here, you see my right-click menu is now different for doing different things. So once again, I'll select all these just by drawing a marquee around them. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to go down to where it says Object Properties. Clicking on that, I get my Object Properties dialog box. Here you'll see that one of the options is this Show Frozen in Gray. That's set by default. You'll always have to undo that for every single object that you have, but you only have to do it once per project. So I'm going to uncheck this. Now, as long as I'm here, I might as well freeze the things. So I can just go right over here and I can check the freeze box. Say OK. Now everything is frozen. I can't select anything, but it's still the same color. Much nicer to work in. Okay, let's bring in a few objects. So we've practiced a little bit already with a few of these primitive. Let's just do it some more. So I'm going to select the cylinders. I'm going to drag out a cylinder and pull it up. Maybe dragging out another one and pulling it up. And maybe even one more, dragging it out, pulling it up. Over here, maybe I'll put some boxes. So I'm going to drag out a box and pull it up, drag out another box, pull it up, and drag out yet another box and pull it up. Oh, now wait a minute, look at this. I've put one object inside another object. We are in the virtual world, so if I go to my view here, T for top, you can see that these objects are inside one another. It's very easy to do that in the virtual world. It's something you just have to watch out for. Here, I'll move this box over and go back to my perspective view. Alrighty, so now that I'm back in my perspective view, I think I want to place some objects on top of these, as if we were looking in a, let's say, museum or a display cabinet. So let's see, how about a torus? I'll make a torus right here. And I'll use my select and place object right here, and we'll just put it right on top of this one. How about a tube? What does a tube do? Let's take a look at that. We've got that and that, and pull it up and look at there. Now I've got a tube. Once again, select and place. Put that one up here. How about a teapot? Here's the teapot. We'll select and paste. Oops, drag that out, excuse me. Get a select in place. Put that one up here. Now, in addition to these primitives, we also have some extended primitives. Let's go back to the control panel, and you'll see underneath this drop-down box where it says standard primitives, you can go to the side here and go down. The very next one is extended primitives. And that will give you a whole bunch of new things to work with. So what's this? A GenOn. Pull that out. Pull it out. Well, there you go. Oops. We'll place this one. Oh, what did I do? Place this one, he said, over here. And what about a torus knot? What could that be? Drag that out. Place this one over here. Now, you place and you make things however you want them to be. You don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. Here's a capsule, for instance. Oh, look at that. And placing that over here on our last one. Okay, good enough. The main takeaway from this lesson, besides placing things, was freezing things. Now there's a couple ways to do it. I could go over here to my Scene Explorer, and I could just click one of the snowflakes, for instance, on my teapot, but it will come up in gray. On the other hand, I could come to something, select it, like this tube, right-click, get the right-click menu, go to Object Properties, and there I could turn off the Show Frozen in Gray, and while I'm there, I could freeze it. In either case, I can no longer select these items. Okay, in our next lesson, we're going to learn about taking a picture and completing the project.